So what usually happens is we're not able to identify fear in our life because the root of fear is pride. Say that back to me. The root of fear is pride. You can't see pride just like you can't see the root of a plant or a flower or a tree because it's underneath the ground. The only thing that you can see is what comes on the surface. So most of us are never able to really eradicate fear from our lives completely because we don't ever deal with the root of the issue. We just deal with the fruit. If we get rid of the fruit, we feel like it's over. But the problem is there's still some things under the root. That's why even when Yeshua, he cursed the fig tree in Mark chapter 11, when he cursed the fig tree, he cursed it to the root to make sure that it couldn't bear forth or bring forth fruit again. And when his disciples left with him, it looked as if nothing had happened. But when they came back the next day or so, they noticed that the fig tree had withered up. They withered up because they couldn't see what was happening under the ground. But Yeshua had dealt with what was going on underneath the surface. And so when he cursed it and they came back, it had withered up and it had dried up. If we don't deal with the root issues of things, they will continue to resurface and manifest itself in our life. And the Most High can show us the root, but if we don't curse it and we don't deal with it and we don't get rid of it, it'll keep resurfacing. Amen. Are you here? Somebody holler, no more fear. No more fear. Are y'all here? And so as a result of it, we can't see that we're operating in fear because it's hidden in plain sight. Most of us, our lives have not taken off in the direction that it's supposed to take off in. And no matter what somebody says, whether you believe it or not, that the Most High is speaking to you right now, you know what happens? You'll get confused and you'll see this guy standing up here and you'll think it's me talking and he's tripping. And yet he's trying to give you a word that will empower you and change your life forever. And you'll miss it because if you're living in pride, you won't see it because it's hidden in plain sight. And we've gotten so comfortable being the way we are. Am I talking to the right people? That even when the Most High tries to correct us, and let me tell you something, I know some of y'all are like, oh, I can wait and he'll speak to me and he'll talk to me himself. And I'm telling you, that's not the precedence throughout Scripture. He always sent prophets. He started out talking to man himself directly from the beginning. That didn't work. Then he says, I'm going to tell you, if you really want me, I'm going to see how you can submit humbly to this prophet I'm going to send you. And you know what happened? They start killing off the prophets. God has a message. The Most High has a message, but he always sends a messenger. And the problem is we have a problem with the message if it's wrapped up in a messenger that we're not comfortable receiving it from. But the reason why he does that is because he wants to see if you'll hide your face from pride. Think about it. When he speaks to you through certain people, if you have an issue with him, you can't hear him. But remember, he resists the proud and he gives grace to the humble. And so what he does is he will wrap up your instruction. I wish I had. Scripture's like, I won't do anything in the earth except I reveal it to my prophet. He will wrap up your instruction in a prophet. He'll wrap up your instructions in your mama. I'll take somebody you can almost handle. Because how many people in here, your mother, as you've grown up, she would tell you stuff, don't do that because this is going to happen. How many people like myself, I didn't know my mother was being a prophet. And then you get older, who knows what I'm talking about? When you get older, you start saying stuff like, man, if I'd have just did what my mother told me to do. You know what's so funny? She had a prophet too, her mother. You know what I'm saying? Her father, her mother. And my mother used to always say, kids, y'all act like y'all know everything. How many people know you barely know everything now? And some of y'all are 40, 50, and 60, and you still make bad decisions. Amen? And how many people in here, if you just followed the instruction of a teaching father or your mother, you wouldn't be in the position you're in. But I'm trying to tell you, it's because the way the Most High is going to root out pride is he's going to use somebody you do not want to receive from. Talk to me, somebody. Am I here? So pride is hidden in plain sight. Say it's hidden in plain sight. And it's because fear is the symptom of it. It's the fruit of it. It's what we can see. But pride is the root It is what we cannot see. And pride was the first sin committed in the garden. It was even Lucifer, the son of the morning, first sin as well. It was pride. Pride is the greatest of sins because it is the summit of self-love and is directly opposed to submission to God. It is therefore the sin most hated by the Most High. And here's the thing, and it's the one he punishes severely. Proverbs 8:13 in the New Living Translation says, all who fear the Lord would hate evil. Therefore, I hate pride. He says he hates pride and arrogance, corruption, and perverse speech. The Most High says he hates it. And it's the most dangerous of sins because it's blind. And it blinds our understanding. And unless something finally happens, and it usually have to be really big and major, because we'll have like warning after warning. I'll talk to somebody that's going to say back, talk to me. We'll have warning after warning after warning, and some of us don't get it until something major happens. Am I talking to the right people? What pride says is, I can take care of this myself. I don't need no support. I don't need no help. I can do this in my own strength. And so on Wednesday night, I told Natalie, I'm going to tell Ellis, fall back in your own strength and catch yourself. You know what's crazy, though? Daily, many of us take the plunge and try to support and carry ourselves. Now, he will not do this because he knows the result is not going to be. And I'm talking about not drop your knees, bend your knees in. I'm talking about just flat out, just fall back. This is how we look when we are trying to operate and live life on our own terms and in our own strength. We're saying that I got this. I can do this. I don't need. And I'm telling you whether it's the Most High or people. Because if he's going to do something in your life, he's going to send somebody else to support you. Give you good advice, and so what happens is you are not created at any place in your life to hold yourself up and hold yourself together. Your weakness is made perfect in his strength. Legend, come here real quick, son. Fall back, Ellis. No, fall back, Ellis. This is what it looks like when we depend on people that the Most High didn't send in our life. We decide what we want and who we want, and he's saying that I didn't send them to help you. And if you try to create help, you'll create help that wasn't designed to support you. So he'll send people that can support you, but you won't fall back and trust. See, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not to thy own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him and he will what? Direct your path. And so that's why some of you women are frustrated, is because you're trying to lean on somebody that wasn't created to support you. I'll keep going. 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 I keep going. And listen, and I'm going to tell you the truth. Some of you men are frustrated for the same reason, because you were supposed to get somebody that was your helpmeet, which means they had the capability to hold things together with you, not fight and be in opposition with you. So everybody's out of position, and we sitting here and we got all of these fears and all of these things that are going on in our life, and it's because we keep trying to do things in our own strength. And I'm telling you right now, you need the Most High more than ever, even you tough men. So you will start putting your trust and your confidence in flesh, and he said don't do that. So that's why you will be a slave to your job, because you feel like that's your support. No, that's a resource. It is not your source. That's the reason why you'll tolerate and be in an abusive relationship, because you feel like this is going to hold you up. No, that's a resource. And let me tell you something about resources. There's tons of them in the earth. Notice he would not fall back. So why would you have something in your life that you don't trust anyway? It don't make no sense. He's been trying to get you to walk away from it. You don't trust it. I was sent into his life to do this. And as much as he thinks that what he's carrying is too heavy, Most High has strengthened me to be able to help him. When he says, cast his cares upon me, for I care for you, when you cast your cares on him, guess what he's going to send? Somebody who's been equipped to bear this weight. Now, listen, I ain't out the book, because when it talks about if your brother be overtaken in the fault, in Galatians 6:1, you can sit down, go to 6:1 real quick. It says, if your brother be overtaken in the fault, ye which is spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness. In other words, God's going to give me the strength to help pick you back up. Then he says, considering ourselves lest thou be tempted. Watch verse 2. Watch verse 2. He says, but bear ye one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. I've been created to hold Ellis up. Come on, man. I need somebody that got some. I've been created to bear this weight. And you may think in pride to have you saying, I can't go to him because he don't know nothing about this. You don't know. I've been called to bear stuff I didn't even know I could bear until I had to bear it. Have God ever used me, the Most High ever used me to push you back into alignment, to push you back? And I'm telling you right now, when he sends somebody to deal with your pride, to deal with your fear, he's going to send somebody that he's already pre-equipped to handle it.